guys, and thanks for watching this video. It's my first time doing something like this, so I'm just gonna walk you guys through the AFE install. First time doing it. On a scale from 1 to 5, it's probably a 3, 2 probably. There's a few tricks that I learned will help you guys out, so here you go. So for anybody installing these pipes, there's a few things that I learned that'll probably help you guys out when you guys go to install it. I know there's no videos out, a lot of them, people just taking pictures of it and whatever, but I'm gonna try and show you a little bit of what I went through. So first thing automatic, what I realized is if you have a TurboSmart blow-off valve, you're gonna wanna have this thing facing to the left. A stock blow-off valve, you want to face it to the right. Now underneath here, there's a little hole that feeds into this tube, and so that's where you want it to be aligned with. So that's a few things some people are saying, oh yeah, the threads aren't lining up. Well, no, they're not, because TurboSmart lined them up for this way compared to Ford lined it up the opposite way. So that's one thing I noticed. The other thing is you're gonna take this thing off right here, this whole thing, and there's a little bolt that holds the radiator in. You want to take the little bolt off on this side and the little one off. It's right underneath, like right where my finger's at. You'll see it. It's holding the radiator. Take it off, because that'll give you the play to get this tube and this tube in. After you take that off, the next thing, there's going to be a stock bracket right here. You're going to take that off first, and then you're going to take off the pin in there down that's holding the stock one together. I found it easy to do the back first and then work your way in the front to pop it off. And I took this off to get it out of the way. You have to disconnect that. But once you have that loose, you pretty much just pull it up and it comes off. Same thing over here. Get that pin that you have to keep, remove it, pull that out, and this is done. Then when you go to install it, people say you have to get lube for the O-rings, but I didn't use any, because if you're tearing it, if you're putting it in incorrectly, you're gonna tear it, right? So I did it, I guess, the correct way you should. If you want to get lube, I would get the lube. It's funny saying the word lube, but you know, put some on the inside, and it should slide on. So when you put this pipe on here, you want to do this first, slide this in. Then when it's about halfway in, not all the way, just halfway, come over to this side and put and seat it down, all the way down. Once that's all the way down, it'll align right to finish sliding in all the way. So you're not really harping on this. This was actually the easiest side to do. This side over here was definitely the hardest. So one, they gave me the wrong brackets or whatever you call it to attach this this rubber like housing or flange or whatever you want to call it. They gave me the wrong size. So what I did is I took the original clamps from the stock. They're actually rubber welded onto the stock one. I took it off and just used these because yeah, I'm not waiting around for these one brackets they didn't send me, right? So you have a large bracket and a small bracket. The small brackets worked over there, the large ones did not. So anyway, that's the only difference probably. If you get the large ones and they work out, great, but mine didn't work that way, so c'est la vie. But this was actually really hard. This was the hardest one, and you might want to get a beer and really enjoy this side, because it sucked. I can't really explain how you'd want to do it, but again, you don't want to tear the O-ring inside, so you want to seat it in straight. So what I did, and they say this in the instructions too, seat in this side first. Let's see it down there. Seat that in first. Once that's in, you actually have to keep this bracket or whatever you want, keep it on the edge there so it's still attached. And once this side's in, you basically have to wedge this cone and like force it towards you, and then somehow get it to attach there. Once it seeds into there, then you can work back this way and get it set all the way in, put the pin in. Now once you put the pin in, I think before you put the pin in, you want to start putting your bolts back on here first, because that's what's going to give you that pressure to pull this in more. So once you get this somewhat in and you get this attached, screw on your bolts on both sides. Once you do that, it'll be stiff. You'll be able to thread it in all the way, put the pin in, and then right here, same thing. Like I said, I bought the AFEs purely for the fact that it's one solid piece. I mean, if you look at the stock, it's just, you know, and I mean, you know, Moshimoto's, I think that's how you call them. They're probably the same way. It's probably easier if you have those because it's easier to put in. But I mean, you potentially have an air leak here sometime. At some point in time, you could have an air leak here. Same thing right here as well. So the AFEs, in my opinion, oh my god, I gotta do a video to show you guys how awesome this is, but it just shreds. I mean, you guys are gonna be jacked when you put this in. I can hear the spooling on the turbo. The blow-off valve is significantly louder. It's badass. So yeah, if you guys have anything you want to say to make it easier, just post it down below. This is my first time making a video like this, but you know, anything helps, you know, you guys out. So yeah, that's it, man. Enjoy. To turn this strip here, this is probably the cleanest strip to do the test without getting pulled over. So let me see if we can hear the turbo way louder. So I try to make it blow off for you, and then the initial takeoff. You see the cars there? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Slow down this turn. Yeah, the beginning RPMs are just ridiculous with this. I mean, in no way is this like a tune, right? Like once you get a tune, imagine it being quicker than this. But I mean, oh my god, like I can hear the blow-off valve way louder. I can hear the spooling slightly. It's just unreal. I mean, you gotta hear that, right? Anyway, I am pleased. I am a happy customer. This is definitely a new engine feel right now. I can't wait for some guy to fucking try and race me, because I'm ready. Anyway, have fun, guys.